Hi guys, welcome back to Granny's Home and Kitchen. So because we're going through this COVID-19 pandemic, I decided I would make something that's very wholesome, easy to make, and that all your family will enjoy. I actually call this soup dessert in a bowl because I absolutely love it. So this is my version of butternut squash soup. Now when I had my coffee shop in my bookstore in Ireland, I made this soup every day and it was so popular with people, and if I didn't make it on one day they'd be upset. So, you know, just to keep everybody happy, we did it every single day. So in the bookstore I had to make such a large quantity, I didn't have the luxury of roasting them first in the oven. I used to just kind of fry them up with oil in the bottom of my big pot. My pot was huge, which kind of gave the same effect, but roasting them in the oven is actually way better. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So first and foremost, you need a butternut squash, obviously. So you're going to cut off the top and the bottom. Now you've got to be careful with these butternut squash because they are quite hard to cut, and you want to make sure you don't cut yourself. So we're going to take the butternut squash. I've washed this, and I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to do my best to cut it straight down the middle. I think I'm probably going to be going off here. I think it's going to be a little bit lopsided, but not to worry. Okay, so now that I have my butternut squash halved, I'm going to take out the pips. You want to get out that membrane that's in there as well. Okay, so give it a good scoop with your spoon. Okay guys, so everybody has their own recipe for butternut squash soup. This is what I use. You can use, some people just use butternut squash and maybe a bit of onion, but this is what I've always used, and I can guarantee that the taste is delicious. So I always put in a little bit of celery, some carrots. These are a must. Parsnips, they give like a peppery taste to it, they're so good. Some fresh ginger. If you don't have fresh ginger, you can use the jarred type, and an onion. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to roast them in the oven for half an hour. You'll see lots of different recipes. Some people put them in for an hour, over an hour. You have to be careful with this because they can burn very, very quickly. So I just put them in for half an hour. So I'm going to put, and I do also keep an eye on them, especially like the onion and the celery and that. I want to make sure that they don't get burnt. So you're going to lay your butternut squash face down. I've just covered this pan with foil. I also add red peppers. Now I just happen to have these left over. They were in my fridge, so I'm going to use these. But if I didn't have these, you can get a red pepper, slice it in half, take out all the seeds, and you can lay it on here as well. And you can roast it. But these are actually fire roasted red peppers. So I'm just going to add those, seems I have them. So actually, before I turn it over, I'm going to put some olive oil on my butternut squash. Probably have a little too much there. I'll spread some. My hands are clean, guys, so make sure you wash your hands, especially with this COVID virus. I'm going to just rub the extra here on my other veg. Got a little heavy handed there. And you're also going to rub some oil over the skin of the back. Okay? I'm just going to spread that out. And just make sure all your vegetables are covered with oil. You can use a pastry brush if you want to for this, but as we're going to be eating it, I'm using my hands. Okay, so now I'm going to season it very well. I'm going to turn my squash back this way, and I'm going to put lots of salt because it's very sweet. The butternut squash is very sweet, so it's good to season it well. And some pepper. Now I've heated my oven to 200 degrees and I'm going to put these in, as I say, for about a half an hour, but after 15 minutes I'm going to check it because I want to make sure that my celery and my other vegetables don't burn. Okay, so now we're going to turn it over that way. We can put some more seasoning on here as well. Not that you'll be using the skin, but it will still add to the flavour. Okay. So that's your preparation. You don't even have, all you have to do is peel your parsnips and your carrots. You don't even have to cut them. And now I'm going to pop them in a 200 degree oven for half an hour. Okay guys, this smells so good. So I kept an eye on my other veg and thankfully they didn't overcook. So everything here is roasted just perfectly. So now I'm going to show you our next step. Okay, so the skin is much softer, it's much easier to peel, but I'm not going to peel it. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to scoop out the flesh. Now this won't be completely softened yet. There still is a little bit of boiling left to be done here. So I'm just going to show you. See, when I scoop it out, it's still a little bit hard. You can cook it longer if you like. Actually, this is a bit harder than, so this is perfect, but this is a bit harder because I didn't cut it very straight. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my this veg here, and I'm just going to just slice it up a little bit, pop it into my pot, and I think I'm going to put that big piece back in for a few more minutes because okay guys, so I've taken it out of the oven and now I'm going to show you how best to peel it. You can turn it over this way and scoop it out, and that works fine, but because it's so hot and it's hard to handle, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to peel it like this. Right, so just take your knife and slide it along the inside of the skin. Oops. Very hot now, because remember it was in a 200-degree oven, and just slice it. And there he is. Can you hear Kieran's music in the background? He was out for a while, now he's home. At least it's not too loud. As much of the skin. Oh, guys, I wish I could send the aroma through the camera. This all just smells so good. Okay, so now I've taken off all of the skin. Make sure you get it all there. And now I'm just a little bit there, just take it out. Now I'm just going to chop it up. And you can see how nice and roasted it is under there. Let me show you. See? I'm just going to chop it up now and just throw it into the pot. We're going to add a teaspoon of garlic. I'm just going to add these. So these are fire roasted, is that French? No, flame roasted red peppers. So I'm just going to add them. Like I said, if you didn't have these, you could just roast a red pepper. So now I'm going to add my chicken stock. And I'm going to put it on the stove for probably about maybe 20 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes, until everything is nice and soft. And then I'm going to blend it. So just chop it up there just so that everything is submerged in the chicken stock. So there it is. I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to bring it to the boil and let it simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes. Okay guys, so this has been boiling for 15 minutes. If you stick your fork in, you'll feel that it's all nice and soft. Okay, so now we put in our hand blender and we're going to blend. Okay guys, so this is where the magic happens. I'm going to put it in my NutriBlender and then I'm going to put it into a bowl just to show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I put it in my NutriBlender. Then I'm going to pop it on here. What's going on there? And wait till you see the difference in the colour. Look at that. It smells so good. Now, as I say, if you had a big blender, this would be so much easier. But because I don't have a big blender, I have to use my usual. Okay, so I'm actually just going to take a bowl before I send it over to Ali, and I'm going to show you how to serve it. So it's lovely and thick. If you like it to be a little bit thinner, you can thin it out. I like it thick. We like it thick here in our house. And then you take some sour cream, or at home creme fraiche if you can't get sour cream, and you put a teaspoon of creme fraiche in the middle. Okay guys, so there we have it. We have butternut squash soup with just a teaspoon of sour cream in the middle, and it's absolutely delicious, guys. It's perfect for this time of year when you're sitting at home and you want something nice for lunch. You'll have plenty to have, maybe 2-3 days lunch out of this. Okay guys, so don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much guys. Have a wonderful weekend.